Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Thursday, September 29th, 2022. Today I'm going to recap the Major League Baseball games from yesterday and look ahead to today's games. We have Thursday night football and college football to talk about on today's show. We'll go over the NHL preseason games from yesterday and look ahead to today's preseason action as well. We have golf to go over. Last night's episode of The Masked Singer, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start with Major League Baseball. We'll go over the results and look ahead to today's games. Pirates over the Reds 4-3-10 on a walk-off single by Kevin Newman. Pittsburgh's 59-97. Cincinnati is 60-96. Guardians over the Rays 2-1-10 on a walk-off single by Ahmed Rosario. It was a pinch hit single with the bases loaded. Cleveland's 87-68. Tampa's 85-70. Tigers over the Royals 2-1. The Tigers are 62-92. KC 63-92. Nationals over the Braves 3-2-10 on a walk-off single by C.J. Abrams. Washington's 54-101. Atlanta's 97-59. Yankees over the Blue Jays 8-3. And Aaron Judge finally ties Roger Maris for the American League single-season home run record. Yankees are 96-59. Toronto's 87-69. Red Sox over the Orioles 3-1. Best bet, another loser. Boston 74-81. Baltimore 80-75. Mets over the Marlins 5-4 in 10 innings on a walk-off single by Eduardo Escobar. Mets are 98-58. Miami is 64-91. Twins over the White Sox 8-4. The Twins are 76-79. So are the White Sox. Cubs over the Phillies 4-2. The Cubs are 69-86. Phillies 83-71. Brewers over the Cardinals 5-1. The Brewers are 83-72. The Cardinals are 90-66. D-backs over the Astros 5-2-10. Arizona 72-84. Astros are 102-54. Angels over the A's 4-1. The Angels are 69-86. Oakland is 56-99. Dodgers over the Padres 1-0. Dodgers are 107-48. San Diego is 86-99. Mariners over the Rangers 3-1. The Mariners are 84-70. Texas is 66-88. And the Giants over the Rockies 6-3. The Giants are 77-78. Colorado is 65-90. Okay, now we look ahead to today's games. We have a couple of day games. 1 o'clock, you have the White Sox at the Twins. Lucas Giolito and Louis Varland. The Twins should be favored in this matchup. And the White Sox are favored -118. The Twins are even money over on their 8. Overs -102. Unders -120. White Sox -1.5 is +146. Twins +1.5 is -178. I'm going with the Twins at even money. Royals Tigers. Jonathan Heasley and Eduardo Rodriguez. Tigers -134, KC +116, over under 7.5, overs -102, unders -120. Royals +1.5 is -200, Tigers -1.5 is +164. I'm going to go with the over in that game. 1:30 Orioles Red Sox from Fenway. Mike Baumann and Nate Eovaldi. Red Sox -156, Orioles +134, over under 9, overs even money, unders -122. Orioles +1.5 is -156. Red Sox -1.5 is +130. This is a hard one. But I'm going to go over 4.5 first half. -118. 220 Phil's Cubs from Wrigley. Ranger Suarez and Javier Rosado. Cubs coming for the sweep. Phil's -200, Cubs +168, over under 7.5, overs -118, unders -104. Phillies -1.5 is -120, Cubs +1.5 is even money. I think the Cubs keep it close again. Philly will probably win, so I'm going Cubs +1.5 even money. Rays Guardians at 6. Jeffrey Springs and Cal Quantrill. Rays minus 116, Guardians minus 102, over under 6.5, overs minus 120, unders minus or even money. Rays minus 1.5 is plus 150, Guardians plus 1.5 is minus 182. I'm going with the Guardians at minus 102. They're 50.4% on ESPN Analytics. 7:40 Marlins Brewers. Braxton Garrett and Eric Lauer. Brewers minus 178. Marlins plus 150 over under 7.5, minus a 10 each way. Marlins plus 1.5 is minus 146. Brewers minus 1.5 is plus 122. I'm going with the over. 9:30 A's Angels. Cole Irvin and Shohei Ohtani. Angels minus 260. A's plus 215 over under 7. Overs minus 115, unders minus 106. A's plus 1.5 is minus 102. Angels minus 1.5 is minus 118. I'm going to go with the over. Don't feel strong about it, though. Dodgers Padres. Brusdar Gatorl. And we don't know what's going for the Padres. The line's not posted yet. But I'm likely betting on the Padres, regardless of the analytics. Rangers Mariners. John Gray and Marco Gonzalez. Mariners minus 122. Rangers plus 104. Over under 7. Overs minus 112. Unders minus 108. Texas minus 1.5 is plus 176. Mariners plus 1.5 is minus 215. Rangers favored on the run line. Mariners favored on the money line. This is a hard one. There is value on Texas. So I'm going to go Texas plus 104. Don't feel good about it, though. 9:45 Rockies at the Giants. Ryan Feltner and Carlos Rodon. Giants minus 245. Rockies 2-1. Over under 7. Overs minus 124. Unders plus 102. Rockies plus 1.5 is minus 110. And same for Giants minus 1.5. And I'm going to go with the Giants run line. That's the pick. All right, now move on to Thursday Night Football. It's a good one. You have the Dolphins at the Bengals. The 3-0 Dolphins at the 1-2 Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to quickly check for notable injuries. So DJ Reader out indefinitely for Cincinnati. Drew Sample questionable. Trey Hendrickson questionable. Joe Mixon probable. T. Higgins probable. Hayden Hurst probable. Lyle Collins questionable. So those are the notable ones for Cincy. And in Miami, Jalen Waddle probable. Holland wasn't on. I don't remember seeing Javon Holland as questionable for the game. That would not be ideal for the Dolphins if he were not to play. Is he a spread safety? I'm checking right now. Yes, he is. But he's probable, not questionable. That's my bad. That's better than questionable. Cedric Wilson, questionable. Byron Jones might be back for Miami. Xavier Howard, questionable. Teron Armstead, questionable. Tua, questionable. So, a lot of questionables for Miami, which isn't great. I project 1-44 7/10. And the line for this game by FanDuel is 3.5 and 47.5. So it gives me relief off my shoulders a little bit that it's 2.5 points apart. And then the total is more than 2.5. So I'm going to go under 47.5 is my pick for the show. I'm going to say the Bengals win this football game. If I had a score in my head, I'd say it's 23-20. All right, college football. We have college football tonight as well. 2 games. One game that was supposed to be Saturday and one game that was originally scheduled for today as well. We'll start the game that got moved to today. South Carolina was hosting SC State. They moved it to tonight because of what is now Tropical Stormy, and it got downgraded from hurricane to tropical storm, which is good news for those people that are projected to get Hurricane Ian. But still, thoughts and prayers to everybody involved. Poor Fort Myers and Naples underwater. All right, so South Carolina's favored by 38.5, totals 55.5. I'm taking SC State. I think it's a lot of points for Carolina. They have some big games coming up that I think they are looking ahead to. So I'm going to take SC State getting all the points. Next week's a big one. They're at Kentucky, and then after that is home A&M, home Missouri. So give me SC State getting all those points, and I would do a same-game parlay with that if that was available to me, and parlay that with the over. And the second of the 2 games tonight, you have Utah State at BYU. BYU's a 24-point favorite, totals 59.5. So the line went down a half point since I last seen it. For this game, I'm going to pick the under. I don't usually like going under in BYU games, but Utah State's not good offensively. So I'm going to go under 59.5 is my pick here. And I have a slight lean towards BYU, as well as I project 25 and 55 and 3/4. All right, now move on to the NHL preseason. We'll go over the results and look ahead to what's going on tonight. Capitals over the Flyers 3-1. Blue Jackets over the Sabres 4-1. Maple Leafs over the Canadiens 3-0. Blackhawks over the Red Wings 4-2. Flames over the Oilers 4-0. Ducks over the Coyotes 3-1. Golden Knights over the Avalanche 7-1. That's a little crazy. And the Sharks over the Kings 3-1. Hurricanes Lightning postponed. Now we have tonight's games. 7 o'clock, you have the Jets at the Canadiens. So the young Canadiens hosting the Jets in preseason action. They're minus 140 favorite. Winnipeg's plus 110 over under 5.5. Overs minus 110. Unders minus 115. Jets plus 1.5 is minus 250. Habs minus 1.5 is plus 185. I'm going with the under. Devils Rangers from the Garden. Rangers minus 195. Devils plus 150 over under 6. Overs even money. Unders minus 125. Devils plus 1.5 is minus 170. Rangers minus 1.5 is plus 130. Oh, that's a hard one. Rangers puck line, I'll pick. Hurricanes, Panthers. Panthers minus 270. Hurricanes 2-1 dogs. Over under 6. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 105. Canes plus 1.5 is minus 125. Panthers minus 1.5 is even money. I'm going under. That's insane of a line. I would actually take a stab at Carolina as an underdog in the preseason. 8 o'clock, Predators, Lightning. This game is going to be played at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. It was moved from Tampa due to Hurricane Ian. So now the Predators have a home preseason game. No betting lines out for this game. Wild Stars. Each team's minus 115 over under 5.5. Overs minus 125. Unders even money. Wild plus 1.5 is minus 260. Stars minus 1.5 is plus 200. That's a tough one. I'm going to go with the under, but I don't feel good about it. Blue Jackets, Blues. The Blues are minus 210. The Jackets are plus 160 over under 6. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 120. Jackets plus 1.5 is minus 158. Blues minus 1.5 is plus 120. I'm going Blues run line. Or puck line. And 9:30 at the Kraken at the Canucks. No odds available yet for this game. All right, now I'll move on to golf. The Sanderson Farms Championship is underway. In first place right now with a score of 3 under is Stefan Yeager. Tied for second with 2 under, Nate Taylor, Taylor Moore, Grayson Sieg, and Nicholas Lindheim. Tied for sixth at 1 under, Brandon Wu, Mackenzie Hughes, Alex Smalley, Adam Putnam, Joaquin Herman, Gary Woodland, Keegan Bradley, Adam Long, Justin Sue, Trevor Werblow, and Alejandro Tosti. Tied for 17th at even, Adam Hadwin, Hayden Buckley, Vincent Whaley, Dylan McCarthy, Richie Wrensky, Joel Dahman, Garrett Higo, Sep Straka, Tyler Duncan, Scott Stallings, Brendan Todd, Robert Streb, Chengson Pong, Kevin Tway, Nate Watney, Matthew Neesmith, Bryce Garnett, Ben Silverman, Anders Albertson, Brandon Matthews, Nicholas Echeverria, Ben Griffin, Chun On Yu, Samuel Stevens, Sang-Hoon Kim, and Philip Knowles. Now I'm just going to go through notables. Tied for 43rd with 1 over, Max McGreevy, Dylan Fratelli, Pat Gazier, Adam Schenk, Jason Duffner, Seamus Power, Chester V, Stuart Singh, Kevin Stroman, Aaron Ray. Tied for 59th with 2 over, Matthias Schwab, Vincent Taylor, Kramer Hickok, JT Potson, Ryan Moore, Harry English. And that's your early leaderboard so far for that tournament. All right, Masked Singer, we'll go over the episode from last night, which was very fun and entertaining. So they opened the show with Hummingbird getting unmasked. My final guess was Eli Manning. Ken Jeong said Tom Brady. Robin said Deion Sanders. Jenny said Rob Thomas, and they didn't give out Nicole's guess for some reason. I guess they just forgot. And who was it? NSYNC star Chris Kirkpatrick. I don't think anybody would have guessed him. I certainly wouldn't have. It was a big curveball thrown at us, but a great get for the show. Great way to kick off this episode, as it's the second NSYNC member to be on the show, the other one being Joey Fatone back in season 1. And this episode was Vegas night, as Donny Osmond came out and performed The Greatest Showman and Viva Las Vegas, and also was a guest panelist tonight, so that's pretty cool to see. First to perform was a character, Panther, who him and a character named Pyrat competed against Harp for the right to move on to the next episode. So Panther goes first. There's some Japanese clues in there. He hints about doing something with Beyonce. Talks about being MIA. There's a paper that said defense ripped in half. There was a tape. And then Back to One was one of the hints. That was an old song. And then this person performed Feeling Good by Nina Simone. And then the special clue was handed to by a Cirque du Soleil person that was part of the Vegas theme night. As Jenny opens it, and there was a globe, and then it said victory, inside the globe. And then Panther said victory means the world to him. Ken Jung said Andre Drummond and Sam Richardson. Jenny said Brian McKnight and Lamar Odom. Nicole said Billy Porter and Tito, which would have been interesting. Pirate went next. There's a peach in the clue package. He said he wasn't popular when he was young. There's a puppet, Hollywood, dinner for dummies, late laugh, and this person performed Crocodile Rock by Elton John. And the special clue, he said that the audience in the panel were getting a taste of himself on the show. Ken Jung said Robert Smigel. Nicole said Terry Fader. Donny Osmond said Jeff Dunham. And then came the harp. Talks about being casted in different roles. There was a witch hat again, binoculars, a throne, a night CD. Talks about always being on time. And she performed I Have Nothing by Whitney Houston. It was phenomenal. The special clue is given to Nicole. And she said that she's collaborated with Nicole and sang with her. Nicole said Amber Riley. Jenny said Ashanti. And Robin went with Yvette Nicole Brown. The first unmasked was Pirate. My guess for Pirate was Jimmy Kimmel because of the nighttime clues. And his voice sounded like Jimmy Kimmel's voice when he performed. So that's what made me think of Kimmel. Donnie said Jeff Dunham. Ken said Robert Smigel. Nicole said Terry Fader. Robin said Dana Carvey. Jenny originally said Steve Carroll. And then she went to Carrot Top. And who was it? Jeff Dunham. As Donny Osmond got it correct. Good for Donnie. He was right on the nose with that one. And then there was a battle royale between the top two, Panther versus Harp. And the panel got to decide who went on because with Donnie being there was a fifth vote. So there would be no tie. And they both performed different renditions of Born to Be Wild by Steppenwolf. Panther went first, Harp went second. Both did incredible. And who moves on to the next week? Harp, who I thought deserved to move on. Although I would have been okay with Panther moving on because that's how good Panther was. And Panther went home, unfortunately. My guess for Panther was CeeLo Green because during the first song, I was getting vibes of I was driving around town with the girl I love and I'm like, forget you. I was getting like that vibe. So I went with CeeLo. Jenny said Lamar Odom, which was a good guess. Nicole said Billy Porter. Robin went with former Knicks player and former Dancing with the Stars contestant Amon Shumpert. Donny Osmond had a hard time with this one, so he took Ken's original guess of Andre Drummond. And then Ken said Sam Richardson. And who was it? This was a stunner to me and a stunner to everybody. It was the one and only Montel Jordan, the singer of This Is How We Do It. So that was just a great get for the show. We had three big names get unmasked tonight. It was awesome. This is even bigger of celebrity caliber than more than any celebrity they've had last season. Maybe you could argue on Vogue, and you can make a case for Tiana Taylor. But it was a great show. And Harp moves on to the next episode as she'll face off against two more contestants a week from Wednesday. So that is going to be a lot of fun. I apologize. We're going to do Survivor on tomorrow's show instead because we didn't have time to do it today. If we don't do it tomorrow, then we'll just hold it off for next week. We'll move on to news and notes now. We'll start with Major League Baseball. Aaron Judge obviously hit his 61st home run to Ty Maris. Aaron Judge's mom and Roger Maris Jr. embraced after the big home run in Toronto. There are fans that nearly caught the ball, but it went into the Blue Jays bullpen, and Judge got the ball back, and who does he give it to? His mom. That was awesome. They gave it to his mom. And then Maris Jr. says that Judge will be true home run champion if he reaches 62, and calls Barry Bonds' 73 illegitimate. So, or non-legitimate. So, we'll see if Judge gets it done over the weekend against Baltimore at home. And then Judge said that he felt some relief. And then he said it creeps into your head. But something really interesting Judge did was it was a 3-2 count and he stepped away from the plate. It's something you never see him do. He just stepped away from the plate and walked to the side to like clear his head. And that was odd. And I said to myself, that's un-Judge-like. He never just does that. And then I said to myself, you know what? He's going to do it. Next pitch. Sure enough, next pitch. There he goes. 61. So there you have it. Let's see if he gets it done over the weekend now. Anthony Rizzo guest managed the Yankee game for Aaron Boone yesterday, and he consulted Aaron Boone on the strategy and picked out the lineup as well. Good for Anthony Rizzo. And then they won the game, too. And it was a game that their opponent absolutely had to have as well. Connecticut Governor Ned Lamont proposed a Major League Baseball rule change as he had an idea to stop teams from pitching around sluggers like Aaron Judge. The funniest thing during the Yankee broadcast yesterday was David Cone, who, after Judge walked for a fifth straight time, he trolled the Blue Jays and made a cock-a-doodle-doo kind of sound, which was really funny. So that was just really, really funny that Coney did that. Sound like a rooster. More baseball news. The Cardinals clinched their division the same night the Yankees did, so that was Tuesday. And Albert Pujols gave out an incredible speech. We just forgot to mention that on yesterday's show. Some football news. Joey Bosa placed on injury reserve as he's expected to return this season after undergoing groin surgery. Christian McCaffrey held out of practice as he doesn't speculate on his status after he missed Wednesday's practice with a quad injury. DeAndre Swift unlikely to play against the Lions as he would have to feel significantly better to suit up. Zach Wilson expected to make his season debut Sunday against the Steelers after the knee injury. So the new Belichick phrase, day by day, is the new on to Cincinnati. And on to Cincinnati's obviously famous because the Patriots got blown out. I believe it was on Monday Night Football. Brady looked awful. It was like the first time he kind of looked washed up. And then the next week, yes, it was a Monday night game. because the next week was a Sunday night game as they hosted the Bengals, and I think they were an underdog in the game. Cincinnati was undefeated. Patriots were 2-2. And all Bill was saying was on to Cincinnati. And then the Patriots went out and kicked their butts. I remember that very vividly. So, yeah, it looks like he has a new on to Cincinnati kind of phrase. Russell Wilson claps back at Eli Manning, suggesting the Broncos should pay their punter $250 million. Lamar Jackson slimed his teammates after he was named the Nickelodeon Player of the Week. Some soccer news, Gio Reyna out 7 to 10 days after injuring his hamstring. Basketball news, Anthony Davis played through a wrist injury in January that affected his shooting. Knicks forward Cam Reddish denies wanting to be traded, as he said the social media rumors were not true. And some college basketball recruiting news. Andrei Stokovich is a highly recruited 5-star player. Oregon, Texas, UCLA, and Stanford are in the running to land him. So, keep an eye on that. All right, best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. Best bet's just been in an awful slump of late. And I'm going to lay a quarter unit on this one. And I'm going to go with the San Francisco Giants run line. I just don't think this team wants to finish under 500 on the season. The Rockies are just, throwing in the towel. So I'm going to lay a quarter unit on Giants minus 1.5 against the Rockies as my best bet of the day. All right, that's it for the show today. I'll be back tomorrow for the Big Friday show. A lot of college football and NFL, baseball, NHL preseason, golf, NASCAR. If we have time, we'll do Survivor, News and Notes, Best Bet, and Fab 5 too. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.